What's going on, everybody? It's your homeboy Cable Line Network here, chilling out, maxing out, doing my thing. All right, y'all. Now, in today's video, we're going to be talking about The Flash, episode 21 of season 2. Let's get into this. Now, Barry gets his speed back. Wally West, not a speedster, just quick gains her abilities. Let's go. Now, in this episode, we basically left off from what happened last time. Basically, Barry disintegrated, or so we thought. Now, Cisco touched Barry's outfit and vibed him in another place. He saw that he was alive. So the base part of the episode was trying to figure out how to get contact with Barry. Major problem though. Apparently now whatever happened with the particle accelerator actually caused Tony. Remember Tony, the bully that Barry fought, the one who could turn to iron? He fought him, I believe, it was like episode 4, I think. Don't quote me on that. He came back to life. Yeah, well, in a way, he turned into a zombie, but he still had his meta-human abilities. So this guy was basically trying to go to all the different places to, backtrack to what the last thing he was doing. The last thing he was doing was trying to get at Iris. Now, let's talk about Barry and the Speed Force. In the Speed Force, it basically went through Barry's entire life. From Joe, well, it showed itself as Joe first, then Iris, then his father, then it showed his mother. With Joe, it just talked about, it basically being the Speed Force, that he's talking to the actual source of his power and how he can actually get back out of the Speed Force. He has to catch this shadow that keeps running through. Now, at first glance, it's really black. You think, oh my god, it's Zoom, but no. Or it's a semblance for Zoom. Nah, it's not. I'll tell you more about that later on. All right. Now, the time that Iris was there, he basically talked about how Barry has saved people and such like that, and how he never really accepted certain things. Going over to his father, it showed his father taking Barry to his mother's grave and telling him that he truly hasn't accepted it. He really has not, and until he accepts that, he cannot move on with his life. He was telling them the truth. Now let's get back to Cisco and everybody. Now, Wally did not get the Speed Force. Like I'm telling you, fuck that dude. I told y'all he wasn't gonna be Kid Flash. He did not get the Speed Force. The thing hit him, but it did not knock him unconscious. It did not do it. He got up regularly. He was fine. Just and knocked unconscious though. She was basically KO the entire time. Apparently, Cisco gained the ability to now be able to go into the Speed Force. Well, make a breach into the Speed Force and pull somebody out of it. Apparently, he like got that ability because it was actually, like I said, the Speed Force that was talking to Barry. It was weird. That was the source of his power. It knew everything about him. Now, when you actually thought in the trailer, when you saw it, you thought that they were going to keep him there. He couldn't leave. They were telling him that he could leave at any time. Like, literally, they were telling him he could leave at any time. He just, okay, the first time Cisco contacted him, it told him, if you leave now, you will not have your powers. So, apparently, the Speed Force had, I don't know what type of speed that was. The original speed he got, or was it the enhanced speed? I'm not sure. They did speculate, but let's get back into this though. Now, basically, you've seen Tony. He was going after Iris. He was going to different spots until he found her. The last spot was Iris's and Joe's crib. Yeah. Now, here's the funny thing. Everybody was talking about Wally was being the Flash. The way that the show debugged it, Joe was asking him like, "Are you feeling anything weird? You can talk about anything that changes with your body." Wally thought it was, him trying to have the birds and the bees talk, and he said, "Come on, Dad, I have the internet." I fell through the seat when he said that, but yo, basically, Joe dropped the cup. Wally did not jump to grab it. He does not become Kid Flash. Ha ha! I get what I want. Matter no. Now, basically Tony finds Iris's house, like I said. She chases him back to Star Labs. Star Labs tries to, well, Cisco tries to at first hit him with this like magnetic spear or something. Well, not an actual spear, but like it was magnetic generators that created a spear. Now, it didn't work the first time, so they were just running around. I mean, this guy is a zombie, so he's just walking around. He's not like The Walking Dead. Oh, Cisco made a reference about The Walking Dead too. I just had to lull at that. Oh, I had to lull at that. Anyway, now Barry goes to the final, I'll say, Spectre of the Speed Force, which is, like I said, his mother, and he talks about he couldn't accept it and how that was actually his mother and the Speed Force both talking to him. Now, basically, had a whole conversation. The Speed Force helped him realize who he actually was. He accepted it, and the shadow that was actually running around the entire time, because Barry was chasing it with no speed, he was just running after it. And I was looking like he's not gonna get anywhere like that. So basically, once he finally accepted it, the shadow ran to him, and it turned out that that shadow was actually Barry himself. That was his power. It was running away from him because he was not truly accepting who he really was. He was trying to run. He was basically running away from something, and the power reflected it. So Barry got his speed back. Now, at first, I thought that they were going to have Jess or somebody give him the speed. No, it was actually the other way around. Now, this time, you know, they were trying to get Barry to come back out because Tony was about to break down the door and kill everybody. Iris said, "Let me go this time." Like that bitch actually, like they actually made it in this episode. Made like her voice is really what brought Barry back. No, bitch, Barry already got his powers. He was gonna go back anyway. It didn't matter who called him. It didn't matter if it was Cisco. Hell, it didn't matter if it was Wells. Hell, Wally could have even called him. He would have came back. He got his powers already. The reason he didn't go was because he didn't have his powers. So that whole emphasis on Iris being the way home for him. Fuck her. No, he was about to come back anyway. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest here. All right. Now we're also going into Barry coming back out. Him having a speed force. I was shocked about that. I don't know how fast he is compared to Zoom. I have no idea. They actually didn't show Zoom much in this episode. Well, they showed him like towards the ending. That was about it. And I'll talk about that ending later on. Now, Barry managed to take him down and everything, because he's the Flash. He basically he charged the electromagnetics and such. Okay, now what I'm going to be talking about next, Jess getting her speed. Now she was in a coma the whole time until Barry touched her and a surge of electricity went into Jess, and she immediately woke up. That honestly, I can see that being a sign that she will be just quick. That's a clear indication. Like they made so much emphasis that Wally did not have the speed force, it was unbelievable. Like they made a shit ton of emphasis. Like Joe dropping the famous cup. I haven't seen him do that since like what, the beginning of season 1. He hasn't done that since like Wells revealed that he was Reverse Flash. Like that was actually a cool throwback. But anyway, now let's talk about the whole Zoom. Now, at the ending, you saw that Zoom managed to gather an army of metahumans, and there's a ton of them, so they are going to need extra speedsters. They are going to need it. Like, Wally is not going to be a speedster. Thank you, God. Yes! I love he's not going to be a speedster. There was no proof in it at all. You know, Barry actually gave Jess her lightning because she was in a coma. Remember, with Barry's power, you have to be in a coma for that. You have to be. Like she was in a dead coma, and then Wells said that her heart stopped beating. But remember, the old Wells said that um, if you like the heart's beating so fast, you can't really tell. He said that right in the beginning of like what, season 1, episode 2 or 1, I believe. He actually, it was a flashback, and he said that. Then they were also making emphasis that Jess is going to get powers because they were talking about going over Barry's old case files about him, not case files, his old medical records to help and see could that help Jess. So they were making a lot of emphasis that Jess is going to have speed. It's not going to be Wally though, which I'm cool with. It's going to be Jess because okay, I took another look at her. Jess's body type is actually right for Jesse Quick. Jesse Quick, daughter of I said father Quick, Johnny Quick. She was a little bit I would say she was a little bit skinny, had a nice rack. She's okay with that. She does have a good body type for Jess Quick. I am gonna be looking forward to seeing her in action though. Hopefully they change her hairstyle though, because Jessica Quick hair was actually yellow, but she most likely will change that when she actually puts on the costume and everything. I know Cisco's gonna love developing her costume. I just wonder when her powers actually are going to really start blossoming. When they're actually going to come out. Probably the next episode, she's gonna start feeling it because Barry touched her and that girl instantly came back. Like she woke up immediately. Like seriously, him like that was the big emphasis. She's going to be a speedster. I'm really looking forward to that. Like at first, I didn't think that more speedsters would be needed, but yeah, they're gonna need a lot of speedsters. They're gonna actually need help from Arrow. Oh, they can't get any help from Oliver and them because one Oliver and them is one man down. Like what was it? Black Canary's done. Then they have Damien Dark to worry about. Can't call anybody else Adam, Firestorm. Can't call them because they're freaking time traveling. Yeah, they're gonna need some other speedsters. They're gonna need some major backup. It's a like Zoom got a lot of metahumans. Like he literally got a ton of them. It was insane how many he actually was managed to gather. It's crazy. Now, guys, put in the comments what do y'all think about this episode. I want to hear what you guys have to say. This episode was really cool. I really dug it. To me it was kind of a cop out how that's how Barry got his speed back. I'm like, I was kind of thinking, Wally would get his speed and he would give it to Barry as a semblance of Barry giving up his speed. I kind of think that's what it should have come down to. But oh well, guys, it was still an amazing episode. Thanks again for watching. This is being Homeboy Cable Line Network here. Peace out and talk to you later. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more.